with a little bit of economic news, and I was fascinated by this article here in the Mirror. Hundreds of bus routes face axe with cliff edge deadline this week. Now, I was travelling a bit over the last couple of weeks, Brian, and the traffic on the British roads was just appalling, and it seemed to be exacerbated by the various traffic management systems, the smart motorways and whatnot. But anyway, the attack is now on public transport as well. And what's the cause of this? Well, the bus, particularly the buses, had a £200 million bung from the government to deal with to get the bus routes, the bus companies through the COVID crisis. That's being withdrawn at the end of September. And so many people are expecting a lot of bus routes to be cancelled at that time. They're already talking about it. This is all as a result of the cost of fuel and so on, putting pressure on the bus services. But it's not just bus services. Schools are going to be closing, at least reducing their function. So schools are considering a 3-day week, says the Independent, because of soaring energy bills and rising teacher salaries. But the problem is, what do you do with your children then? And well, the BBC is saying that nurseries are closing because parents being left without childcare as providers are shutting because they can't afford the fuel bills and the energy costs and so on. And they are also having staff problems. But David, we don't need to worry because Liz Truss, who is likely to be our next Prime Minister, is riding to the rescue. And she's published this article in the Mail Plus and also in the Sunday Mail. My clear, consistent, conservative plan. And what's she saying? She's saying a growing economy is about more than numbers on a Treasury spreadsheet. It's about supporting real people and showing that a rising tide really does lift all ships. And that is about as specific as this article gets on what she intends to do economically. It is a pathetic article, and her entire approach is pathetic. The Financial Times today saying that she was talking about breaking up the Treasury. Well, one of the things that she was wanting to do was to reverse the decision to move Dominic Cummings' economic board, I can't remember the exact title of it, into the Treasury. And she's talking about bringing that back into number 10 because that's going to solve all the problems. David, I haven't seen anything from this woman which is going to answer the underlying problems. And you and I have recorded another episode of the the Magic Money Tree, talking about inflation, which will hopefully go up later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. But you know, none of this is addressing the fundamental problems here.
None. It's just an arrangement of cliches, I'm afraid.
Yes.
But the one thing, there's only one data point that comes out of it is it's centrally planned. Liz has a central plan, right? The free market approach is we want plans from the many, not from the few. And Liz says, no, we're not having any of that. We're going to have one plan, and it's going to be wonderful. And we've been there before, and we know how it ends.
Yeah, it's extremely worrying. I'd just like to challenge her on a rising tide lifts all ships. Of course, the ships it doesn't lift are the ones that are sunk, and that seems to me to be what's happened to the UK economy, and that has been deliberate. This is deliberate breakdown of this country. It's orchestrated. It's considered. The plan is to destroy UK from the inside, and Liz Truss, as QM is a better title for her, which is Queen Mercenary. She'd be ideal to do